come singing a song of joyful praise. We come grieving for the passing of our days. We come lonely, laughing or in pain. We're all different and yet we're all the same. We've got something in common we do. We seek God's love. In God's love we are one. We seek God's truth. In God's truth we are one. We seek God's light. In God's light we are one. We sing God's peace. In God's peace we are one. We are one. We are one. When I wake and the sun lights my face and the world holds me in its warm embrace, show me how to be all that I can be, and heed me back to God. Oh, oh, heed me back to God. Oh, heed me back to God. When my life doesn't go the way I planned, and my day gets completely out of hand, help me know that I'm where I need to be, and heed me back to God. Oh, heed me back to God. Heed me back to God. When I feel that my life has slipped away, and my voice no longer knows what to say. Let love fill and mend my broken heart and heal me back to God. Oh, heal, oh, heal, oh, heal me back to God. Oh, and the sun lights my face, and the word holds me in its warm embrace. Show me how to be all that I can be. Heal me back to God. Oh, changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought. I have the power to change my life. And if you ask me, who am I am wisdom, I am light. I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought. I have the power to change my life. And if you ask me what am I am beauty, I am joy. I am more than meets the eye. I cannot be defined. I am the thinker who thinks the thought that changes things that shape my life. I am the thinker who thinks the thought. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. I have the power to change my life. Thank you.
So I don't know if you guys notice, I always watch Joy because she gives me the nod. It's like, come on up, it's your turn now. In the old Southern Baptist ways, you go, come on, preacher, come on up. So welcome this glorious day to Unity of Palm Harbor. We are so glad each and every one of you are here. And for those of you tuning in online, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we want you to know after October 30th, we're not going to do a live presentation. We're going to record it, clean it up a little bit, and then put it back out there on the web. And it should be done Sunday night, possibly by Monday night. So you won't see all of our oops, because sometimes with all the best efforts, I go back and look, and they start with me, and then you just get the floor. Now, I'm not sure what that means. Either they're totally engrossed in what I'm doing, or they're sound asleep. I don't know, either one. But we're going to do our best to make the best presentation possible, because as we all know, when we're beginning to go through our agreements, do your best. Do your best. So that is actually what we're going to do today, because if you make any assumptions, which is what your next lesson is, you may be assuming I'm going in order. And I'm not. Simply because I had an idea. And when the idea came, I went with it. So we're going to work with doing your best today, the whole straw, sticks, and bricks, thinking of the three little pigs. So before we get really into the juice of everything today, I would like to ask Shabnam to stand up. She became a recent member with us. So you simply know who is going to be our new grief counselor. And she's going to be out in the foyer after service, and she's got a book. So I know that Bob Charpentier is our platform assistant, is going to give you some good information, but I want you to know who she is. She will do calls with you. She'll do in-person with you. She's going to have time in my office, and she's going to start group sessions too. And I hear in our community that this is something we have a great need for. And I want to let you know that sometimes grief is not about the loss of a loved one. It's about a big change in your life. And how do you cope with it in a healthy way? So I'm not going to steal the thunder, because we got some good stuff going on there. And a lot of us have been asking, how can we support Southwest Florida? If you remember, a couple weeks ago, we sent some money to Unity of Venice, and I would like to read their thank you note to us. So in case you think people don't still write thank you notes, they do. They do. So this one says, thank you. Your thoughtfulness is a gift we will always treasure. Dear Reverend Tracey and Unity of Palm Harbor family, thank you so much for your thoughtful donation. We love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, Reverend Robin Reeder, and the entire Unity of Venice. So hold all of our church friends, families, people we don't even know in Southwest Florida. I think we still have the hurricane boxes going. Yes. So you can still make physical donations, or if you would like to do something on a check, just write hurricane at the bottom of it. I know that we were presented with different ways to give, where the money is 96 to 100% giving to the cause. And so we are still actively engaged in that. This will be our last weekend to do it, because there's some other things coming with our small groups that are each taking on a service project, and I'm not stealing any of that thunder. I'm going to let that one be shared with all of you. So some of you may know, last weekend, Judith and I went to go see Reverend Edwene Gaines. And for me, I've known her more than 31 years, and she's still a woman of power. She brings her own magic to the stage, and I say that with great heart, compassion, and she will call you out. If you have work to do and you think it's a soft little workshop, get ready, because she's going to call you to your highest form, and sometimes we hit our knees before we come back up, and she guides us through the process. So if you will close your outer eyes with me, I want to read an affirmation, and we'll call it Edwenisms. I am God's beloved creation, radiant with divine life, light, love, and peace. As I center my heart and mind in the presence of God, I greet this day with love and enthusiasm. I am open to the power of God within me and allow it to work through me at all times. I am a unique expression of God's love, and my words and actions are filled with kindness and compassion. I meet life with faith and confidence, knowing that God within is my health, my guide, and my source of all supply. The light of God shines from within me. Divine wisdom lights my path each day as I walk in peace and grow in spiritual understanding. Amen and amen and amen. Wonderful, wonderful, wise words. And we talk these words, we speak these words. We're going through our lesson, Make Your Words Ones of Impeccability, that rises to the highest conscious level. That when we speak our words, they are of truth. They are of a place where we are God-centered. And we stand true to those words. And then we walk in faith and bring action behind those words. So they're not empty, but instead they fulfill each and every one of us. And I know as we're coming together in groups, we share from that heart space. It's bringing some stuff up for people, and it's a wonderful way to say, you know what? You're not alone. I'm in this with you. And I'm so pleased and proud and grateful for all of our facilitators. And I hear there's one little group that's really chatty, and that's wonderful. Because what I heard through the last 2 years is fellowship. We're missing each other. So I hope you are enjoying your small group and you're sharing from that heart space. And if it gets sticky, that's okay. Life is messy. And you're not in a place where there's judgment. You're in a place where you're absolutely supported. Speaking of support, may I ask you two to come join us up here? Let's do October birthdays. Can we do that? We've got a lot of birthdays. If you have a birthday, whether it's been acknowledged up here or not in October, would you please stand up? Would you just please stand up? And I know we have several people that we've done our newsletter for, but whether you're a member or not, whether the name was up there or not, I'm going to let the actual singers take over, and we're going to sing you happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. You are wonderful. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Thank you.
Shall we get started with that opening song? Sure. All right. We're going to sing a song, and you can. Shall we stand up?
Let's stand up.
Let's stand up. And sing all about the 100 ways, at least, that we have in which our good is coming to us. If you don't know the song, you'll pick it up real quick. It's by Richard McDeesey and David Roth. There are at least 100 ways my good is come to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. At least 100 ways for me to believe, and countless blessings that I now receive. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. At least 100 ways for me to receive, and I embrace my good, and I do believe. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming. at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. There are at least 100 ways my good is coming to me. My good is coming to me.
Oh, yeah.
My good is coming to me.
It's all yours, Bob.
Thank you. I have a few announcements. The flower arrangement for today's service was created by Judith Overcash and is dedicated by Judith to Kimmin for her great, loyal service to Unity of Palm Harbor. If you would like to learn how to make one of these beautiful flower arrangements, the flower arrangement team would like to welcome you. Usually we always had 4 flower arrangers in the past. Now we have 2. So 3. Okay, we need 1 more. So see Judith and Kimmin. And that's a good job skill too. Today's prayer chaplain is Reverend Randy, to support anyone in confidential prayer coming to the stained glass windows to my left after service. We ask that you respect their quiet prayer time together by exiting the sanctuary at the end of the service. Today, Joy, Steve, and Lori are our musicians, and Jim and Myrna are our ushers. And as always, we thank them and our audio-video team for their dedicated service to our spiritual community. Volunteers keep our community thriving. So if you can help by volunteering for any one of these teams, see Reverend Tracey, and she'll direct you to the key volunteer. 2 events from our Unity kids. First, the children are raising some money for gas and expenses to attend the YOU rally by having a bake sale outside of the foyer. So you can support them by buying a piece of pastry today. Second, next Sunday is October 30th. And the children are going to have a party, and they're going to come in costume. Also, we adults are invited to come in costume, too. And Reverend Tracy is going to plan some kind of a surprise for us. About 4 weeks ago, a friend of mine and a frequent visitor to our church, Clarine Dennis, has died. Grief is more than just our emotions. It may also mean a major change in our lives, a loss of the way things used to be. Every time I take my evening walk by her condo, I say, "Goodbye, Clarine." Of course, grief can also be caused by some kind of a change in a relationship. Shabnam Hassemi is a certified grief counselor and a hospice nurse, and she is making herself available for private appointments on Fridays and sometimes on Saturdays, beginning October 28th. You can find one of her brochures in the foyer on the way out this morning. In addition, Reverend Tracy also does spiritual counseling, and her card's available on the counter at the bookstore. I didn't know that Bob Kirscherer was a founding member of FEAST. Feast is a program that feeds the hungry in our local area. And her fall program's group project is to collect canned goods for those folks in need. Please, no fresh food like fruits and bread because they don't keep. There's a list in the foyer of the most needed items. A quote from the book of Malachi in the Old Testament says, "Bring your full tithe to the storehouse, and see if I don't open up heaven to you and pour out blessings beyond your wildest dreams." Can you imagine being on the receiving end of one of those can of beans or can of corn? Thanks to Bob's group, we have this opportunity to help out. As noted in our weekly email, the Palm Harbor Pulse, that comes every Wednesday to your e-inbox, The church is helping other Unity churches and the Mercy Chefs organization in Southwest Florida recover from the hurricane. You can donate to hurricane relief boxes in the foyer, or you can write a check, indicate hurricane relief in the notes section on the check. If you don't get our weekly email, you can sign up for it in the foyer on the right side on that desk next to the exit door. This Friday, October 28th, we're having movie night. This movie is called Indigo, Through the Eyes of a Child. We had to cancel it last month because of the hurricane, but this movie is so moving that we're going to schedule it again. This event is offered on a love offering basis. And last but not least, A Course in Miracles meets on Wednesday mornings, and yoga on Thursday mornings. And we have a wonderful team of facilitators that do meditations on Wednesday evenings. Check our website, unityofpalmharbor.org, or our weekly email for start times. Oh, one more thing. We keep a bulletin board next to the office in the foyer for business cards and other notes that we can use to support each other's ideas and talents. So stop by there to see what you can use or contribute. Our mission statement defines who we are in our community. Let's recite it together. Our mission is to advance well-being by sharing compassion, inclusiveness, with integrity and spirituality. Let us begin the meditation portion of our service with the reading of the daily word. The daily word is guidance, and the affirmation is, I listen and receive my intuitive guidance. When I need guidance, I turn to the still, small voice within. I offer a question in prayer and then let it go with gratitude. Releasing concerns in prayer means freeing myself from fretting or ruminating about what troubles my heart. I trust that guidance will arrive in the right way at the right time. I do my part by staying open and receptive. I focus my thoughts on gratitude and trust my heart's wisdom. If I find myself worrying or mentally picking up the problem later on, I don't condemn or criticize myself, but I return to a prayer of gratitude. Spending time with God in prayer and keeping a song of gratitude on my lips helps me to be ever ready to listen and receive my intuitive guidance. As it says from this quote in the book of Psalms, you guide me with your counsel, and afterward you will receive me with honor.
May I see with the eyes of love. May I hear with the ears of love. May I speak with the words of love. May love be in my heart. May I see with the eyes of love. May I hear with the ears of love. May I speak with the words of love. May love be in my heart. May I see with the eyes of love. May I hear with the ears of love. May I speak with the words of love. May love be in my heart. May I speak with love. May I see with the eyes of love. May I hear with the ears of love. May I speak with the words of love. May love be in my heart. May love be in my heart. May I, may I, may I, may I.
So stay in this nice, peaceful place. In the words that Joy sang, may I feel, may I hear, may I speak. I'm going to ask you to join me this morning that we might hear the vibration in our voices as one. And again, walking away with the rich jewels that were presented at the workshop in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The son-in-law of Edwene Gaines teaches in Tulane religious studies. And he brought to us the chanting in Sanskrit. And I'd like to share what the tones actually mean. And then I'm going to invite you to join me. Many of us know the Om, and that's one of the highest vibrations in the universe. A new one that we learned is Shri. And this one's working with Lakshmi, the goddess of prosperity. And then he introduced us to one, Dur. This is the warrior goddess who puts things right in the universe. And then he introduced us to Kali, the goddess of fire, destruction and rebirth. Transmutes what is no longer needed, and her tone is cream. And then there's the goddess of protection. As we're driving down our interstates, as we hop on a flight to go see our family and friends, you might invite this goddess, Doom. And at the very end, we were introduced to Saraswati, and she is about intuition. That we know what we know that we know. And we go inside and we listen to that intuitive God nature that brings forth our truth, our resonance. So I'm going to start and ask you to join me. And as we pause, I'll move to another tone. If we can do this in the silence. No music. Because I want you to hear the tone. And I want you to start with me. Om. Keep going. Om. I'm going to bring in Shri. Again. Shri. Let the walls hear you. Shri. Let's move into Dur. Again. Dur. Now we're into Kali Cream. Again. Cream. We move into protection. Doom. Again. Doom. And we're ending in our intuition. I. One more time. And let's just rest there for a moment. However these ancient tones feel for you are right and perfect, whether each one resonated with you or not, there is a universal vibration with each one, touching that spirit within and together in the collectiveness. And I'm going to share again our wonderful prosperity teachers' Edwinisms, if you'll just listen for a moment. I always have more than enough for everything. I can travel anywhere I choose. It's easy and fun for me to give, share, and serve. I love to give. My giving prospers me and all around me. Any faith-building challenge the universe presents me, God and I can easily handle. I live in the flow of constant good. Everywhere I look, I see blessings flowing to me and through me for others. I am a being of integrity. I require that all my transactions of any kind bless all concerned. I do not let negative thinking, mine or others, affect me. It is easy and fun to take care of myself and my responsibilities. I live in a world of beauty, joy, love, peace, and creativity. I love to try new things and meet new people, and I learn new skills. I love to serve in the gardens, in the bookstore, hospitality, on the platform, in classes, cleaning up our grounds. I love to serve. Giving and serving bring me great joy. I have learned that Emerson is right. We cannot outgive God, our source. I always know what to do. Even when challenged, I affirm. I know what to do and I do it. I take all my concerns to the divine in prayer. I ask for guidance and trust my guidance system. I affirm the widely known affirmation. I am poised and centered in the mind of God. Please say it with me. I am poised and centered in the mind of God, and nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. Together, and nothing can disturb the calm peace of my soul. And so it is as we let it be. Amen.
I can do anything I make my mind to do. I've got a thing inside that I was designed to do, and nothing can hold me back if I don't want it to, 'cause I can do anything I make up my mind to do. And I can be anyone that I decide to be. I have a great big dream growing inside of me, and no one can bring me down, 'cause I know what is right for me. I can be anyone that I decide to be, 'cause I can think and then I can dream, and when I can dream I can believe, and when I believe then I will see. I can do anything, I can do anything, I can be anyone that I decide to be. I have a great big dream growing inside of me, and no one can bring me down, 'cause I know what's right for me. I can be anyone that I decide to be, 'cause I can think, then I can dream, and what I can dream I can believe, and when I believe then I will see. I can do anything, I can do anything, I can do anything I make up my mind to do. I've got a thing inside that I was designed to do, and nothing can hold me back if I don't want it to, 'cause I can do anything I make up my mind to do, and I can do anything I make up my mind to do, 'cause I can do anything, I can do anything. Thank you. Thank you.
You've heard, if you do anything, be kind. So I love that little jingle, because I could just see someone just dancing along the beach, being exactly what they were meant to be. Because the truth is, you can only be you. You weren't designed to be somebody else. You are here to be that magnificent expression of the divine in the way that it best suits you. I love the voices that come up here and the leadership that we have, and we all partner together, but each one of us has to be who we are. I can't be somebody else. They may influence me. A few years ago, at the last retreat I attended in Valley Head, Alabama, I stayed in this fabulous inn. I'd never treated myself to the fancy inn. And if y'all know Valley Head, Alabama, they were famous for socks. So it's a very rural area, and the Sox went to China years ago, so it's actually pretty low on the economic scale. But this was a delightful inn, and the guy who ran it, his wife actually ran it, he was a big hoo-ha football player for the University of Alabama. Now, I don't know who he was, and I don't care. I don't follow that much football. But he and I made chocolate chip cookies and had milk. Now, that spoke to my soul. And we talked, and we talked, and we talked, and if you don't know anything about this little area, it's very eclectic in its practices. There are the places up there that handle the snakes. You go up into those woods, it's always a little white church with a big old box on the side of it. Now, if you're a visitor, they don't pull out those snakes, because I asked. But he said to me, you know, we know Edwene Gaines is leaving, and she's been great for our community, bringing people together. And after we talked for a little while, he looked at me, he goes, why don't you buy her retreat center? Now, y'all have not been there, have you? Anybody? If you fly into Atlanta, if you fly into Chattanooga, if you fly into Fort Payne, it is in the middle of nowhere. Nowhere. And I thought, I'm not ready for a retreat center. But it's wonderful. And 2 years after that, my wonderful Canadian minister friend Randy came into town, and we went up into North Georgia, and we went up into Blue Ridge, and she said one day, will you take me to Edwene's retreat center? I never got to go. Well, so we did. It's only about 2 hours from my doorstep to Valley Head. And as we drove on the back of the property, her personal home was there, the warehouse where the retreat was there, but it had an empty feeling. Because we energize where we are. We have our own energy form and aura that presents itself where we are. And Randy got out of the car and she said, ooh, this is not what I thought it would be at all. And I said, but that's where we did the fire walks. And she had a chapel with this beautiful stained glass window. That's where we toned. And that workshop, that center. And she's just looking at me because she doesn't get it. Because Edwene's not there anymore. So when I saw her in Baton Rouge, I told her this story, that where we are, our energy is. Where we are flowing, where people are connecting with us in small groups or in here on a Sunday morning or on a Wednesday evening doing the meditation, we are present. And we bring that with us all the time to be our very best at what we do. And what I was very clear about, if y'all think it was hard following a minister here after 25 years, there ain't no way I was following Edwene Gaines at a retreat center. Just telling you, I am not even on the first step of that one, not yet. And it didn't call to my heart. That's what we have to look at. What is our best? What do we want to do? What makes our heart sing, shakes us up, even some trembling? Do I have the courage to do that? So it brought me to the story of the 3 little pigs. Now, y'all remember, I think they were all brothers. They were related some way, some fashion. So the first little pig goes out to make his fortune, and he builds a house of straw. And what happens? That's right, the big bad wolf comes to that house made of straw. Little pig, let me in. And what does the little pig say? Do y'all remember? Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Thank you very much. And he huffs and he puffs and he blows that house of straw down. And the little pig runs to his brother in the house of sticks. And the big bad wolf shows up. Little pig, let me in. And the little pig says, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. And the big bad wolf huffs and puffs and blows the house down. Oh, thank goodness those 2 little pigs had good fast hoofs and hoofed it over to their third brother's house. And that house was made of bricks, strong, solid foundation bricks. So when the wolf tried to huff and puff, well, he didn't blow that house down. So I thought, what is an analogy for us about the straw and the sticks and the bricks? When we have an idea, when we have a fabulous idea that just won't let us go, Myrtle Fillmore, one of our co-founders, would say it's a divine idea. So that idea is percolating. But maybe there's some holes in that first idea of straw. So we didn't surround ourselves with the intention, and we didn't fortify that first idea. And you know that one person that you think the world of, oh, we don't do that in our family. You can't do that. What makes you think you can do that? And we let it go. And the big bad wolf blew our house down. But that's okay, because that idea is still with us. And now we're going to go and we're going to fortify it. We're going to fortify that next idea. And we're going to push a little harder. But oh, wow, maybe we have to do something that we've never done before, and that's scary. Oh, so that big bad wolf blows that house down. But when you start with that idea and you surround yourself in the yes, you can do this. I am your prayer chaplain. I am your minister. I am your best friend that can hold that vision with you. Now we have an idea of bricks that can sustain criticism. When we're looking at our agreements and we're not supposed to take in what other people say to us, people pleaser or not, sometimes that hurts. We do take it in. And I think in the book he talks about that means there's a wounding within us that we still need to heal. And that conversation, those words, give us an opportunity to look at ourselves and say, is this true for me? So we have that wonderful idea, and we've fortified it, we've moved forward, and now we have our bricks. And not unlike one of our Bible stories, I want to share this one. Matthew 7:15 through 20 and 24 through 29. Beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves. You will know them by their fruits. Are grapes gathered from thorns or figs from thistles? So every sound tree bears good fruit, but the bad tree bears evil fruit. A sound tree cannot bear evil fruit, nor can a bad tree bear good fruit. For each one that does is cut down and thrown into the fire. Every one of them who hears these words of mine and does them will be like a wise man who built his house, his idea, upon the rock. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the critics criticized. But it did not fall, because it had been founded on the rock. That God-inspired vision is now founded on rock, solid. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. And the rain fell, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it. And great was the fall of it. So if we're not secure with who we are inside, if we're not following our dreams, our God-given divinity of an idea, we can't take someone else's. We might be collaborative and create together, but that which is inside us that wants to be birthed, we're in charge. That's our gift back. That is our divine birthright to bring forward these ideas. And for us to know on solid ground, sometimes you keep close counsel. And I was thinking, when I was going through ministerial school, I had an opportunity to speak at a number of Unity churches. Anybody ever been in sales? Cold calling? Do you ever call cold calling? That's hard. Now, if somebody will soft pedal it for you and introduce you, you're likely to get in the door easier. Not that you can't cold calling, but so I called a few Unity churches in the area. Well, who am I? They don't know me. There's no video of me. So my minister said, the Unity of Birmingham, their minister is in Kuwait serving as a chaplain. I don't have time. Will you go? Oh, wow. This was my chance. I was terrified. I took my prayer chaplain with me. We went up the night before. And then I did speak at the Unity of Birmingham. 2 weeks passes by. Now, I had not spoken at my home church. 2 weeks passes by, and I get this call about 5:30 in the morning. It's Reverend Richard. He is stuck in a storm in New York City. You're up. What? What do you want me to say? I don't have anything prepared. Oh, use your Birmingham talk. Really? So I was up. But even when he came home, he didn't give me the platform again for a very long time. He said I did fine. A little rambling, as you might imagine, sometimes I do. But he did say to me, Wednesday night, help me with our meditation, where we do a little service and 45 minutes of meditation. I was on stage with Reverend Carol O'Connell. That was a big honor for me. But he didn't give me center stage until I graduated and I was ordained. My point being, if you have a dream, if there's something stirring inside you, don't take the first no. You might have to build up. You might have to practice. If you remember, those of you who were here almost 2 years ago, I tried out for this church. Y'all didn't just say, here's the door, come on in. You said, come on, let's hear you again. We got you for about 3 or 4 months. Now we want to see what you're made of. And you said, come. And I said, yes. So don't give up. When we want to be our very best, we have to put our best foot forward. Don't do it halfway. Show the world what you got. Be confident. Take it inside. Be prayed up. Rest in that divine center, knowing you are on your right and perfect path. And sometimes it takes a little practice. Sometimes we fall down. Sometimes we don't get the platform right away. But if it's meant for you, if this is your destiny, if you're meant to bring forward that piece of art, that piece of music, that teaching, that workshop, beautify our gardens, help us in the bookstore, whatever your inner guidance is, never let go. Be your very best. For you often don't get a second chance to make that first impression. So I leave that with you today. What is calling you to do in your personal life and in this community? How can I show up and bring my divine gifts to the table? And then keep a close counsel until you're ready to make it with bricks instead of sticks or straw. And so we let that be, and so it is. Amen.
This is the time in our service when we make our offering for the continued growth of our spiritual work. Would the ushers please come forward? Our contributions are the substance of our love and joy. We feel the mighty flow of prosperity manifesting in our lives. Hold your gifts in your hands and repeat our affirmation together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Well, we searched our repertoire and we don't have a Three Little Pigs song per se. But I think this works.
You've been taken by the wind. You have known the kiss of sorrow. Doors that would not take you in. Outcast
were left behind
will be
welcome at love's table.
You have come by way of sorrow. You have come by way of
but you'll reach your destiny. Meant to find you all these years. Meant to find you all these years. Oh, the nights that joy has slept
will
wake to days of laughter. Gone the tears that you have wept, you'll dance in freedom ever after. You have come by way, you have come by way, but you'll reach your destiny. Meant to find you all these years, meant to find you all these years.
have come by way of sorrow.
You have come by way of tears, but you'll reach your destiny. Meant to find you all these years, meant to find you all these years.
And the children can now come into the sanctuary.
You are walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Linda is going to say a few words.
Hi, I'm Linda Potts, and just wanted to remind you about our food drive for Feast, our local North Pinellas food pantry. And all these kids are helping out by bringing a buy one, get one, and I like to say buy one, give one, because you can give one to our food pantry. Our culmination is next week, so if everybody can bring at least one item, that would be marvelous. You also can bring a check if you'd like to. Make sure you make it out to Feast, but all is appreciated, and we have really full bins right now, so anybody that, you want to hold up your BOGOs, guys? Buy one, get one, and give one to Feast. Okay, thank you all, and thank you for all the donations you've already put in our bins. We really appreciate that. Thank you.
So just a second. Look how many children we have, and we don't even have a building.
Okay, remain standing for our closing prayer and our closing song. I just want to remind you, though, after the song is finished, to exit so that our prayer chaplain can have some quiet time. Okay, the closing prayer, written by Linda Marcellette Winsett. We are here to glow as the light of God.
We are the light of God.
We are here to embrace as the love of God.
We are the love of God.
We are here to stand in truth as the power of God.
We are the power of God.
We are here to radiate as the presence of God.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and so it is.
Let there be peace on
This be my joyous vow.